Hi everyone, Digital Indie here with a visit to several unique and incredibly well-preserved structures located in the Four Corners region of the United States. This is a shorter excursion that I took in the evening right near my camping spot. I am 40 to 50 miles from the nearest paved road and almost 90 miles from the nearest gas station. This place is remote and is a long, jarring, high-clearance four-wheel drive to get here. As a result, the ruins here are pristine and not often visited. Tonight we're going to visit three separate granaries hidden among the sandstone cliffs that line a valley of sagebrush and canyons. All of them are in pretty close proximity of each other. Now some of you might be asking, what is a granary and what was it used for 800 to 1,000 years ago? These were built by the ancestral Puebloan peoples of the Southwest. A granary was used to store large quantities of corn. You'll see that these are tucked up into the cliffs and would have been very camouflaged. These were designed to keep rodents and pests out and be hidden from anyone who wanted to steal it. Can you believe this? Built right into the alcove in the sandstone. Now imagine a rectangular slab of sandstone, the same color as the rock, placed right in that doorway. From a distance, it would have been incredibly difficult to see and would have blended into this massive sea of sandstone. I wonder if when this was built, there was like flat stones, like you see piled up right there, that covered the floor so you had that hard surface. I mean, it's pretty tight in here. And I wonder how much corn this would have held. What a neat place. Alright, I'm going to head up to the cliffside right in front of me along this kind of rocky and rubble strewn path to another granary. It's kind of rough in here, but if you just take it slow and have the right shoes, you can get through here just fine. Traveling through this terrain, especially on this trip, has been a little tough for me. I'm recovering from getting a full hip replacement. I spent decades climbing, mountaineering, dirt biking, mountain biking, skiing, and had some injuries, and so I finally got that done. And it's been a tough recovery, just getting the strength back to be able to do this and the stability. But I feel like I'm getting stronger every time. But I also feel like I'm slower than I used to be. um, but I'm just happy to be out here. I love this area and being able to explore. Woo! Check this out. It's a double-decker granary. That is just amazing. The top one looks like it has a beautiful wall. This one's got the door on the left side here. And it looks like the other side maybe had a collapse on it. It's really neat how the sandstone blocks that they used and also the mortar matches the side of the stone, so it's very well camouflaged. Now I'm going to talk about granaries and a little more history at the end of this video if you're interested in learning more about them. In the past, I would have climbed up there and looked in, but like I said, I'm still recovering. So I'm going to pull out the extended pole on this camera and stick it up there and see if we can take a look inside. But the craftsmanship on the wall up on the second level is just amazing, and it's so well preserved. Just give me a sec here to get configured. Yeah, look at that. Incredible craftsmanship. Wouldn't it be funny if some animal was in there and just stuck its head out right as we're doing that? It'd be hilarious. Okay, leaving that last double-decker granary, I'm going to walk along this ledge for a bit and come to this really spectacular hidden granary. You can't see this from the valley, and I discovered this by accident the night before, but I had the wrong shoes on and I slid down the cliff as I was trying to get up to it, so I found a better way to get up to it now. And it looks, nothing too amazing right there, but wait till we look at the other side. Ugh. Look at that. Looks like it was built in the last 10 to 20 years. It's just fantastic shape. Wow, look at this. There's an impression of corn into the side, into the mud, the mortar. See that? Right there in front of me? That's corn pressed into it. I've seen that before. But, and look at the door and the entrance. There's smaller rocks which give it kind of a decorative effect, I think. Oh, look, there's a door. Let's take a look inside. Wow! Look at this. Isn't this neat? We're looking inside of a structure built 800 to 1,000 years ago. Looks like there's a lot of pack rat or animal rodent stuff inside of this. Somebody forgot to close the door. It's neat to see the construction. They put mud there. And you get to see me making funny faces as I stick this camera in there. But I did want to show it to you. And I've got a little bit of a light in there to help with this. So neat. A lot of pride of work put into the construction of that place. So I wanted to talk about what I visited today. Um, there's three granaries. Two are fairly obvious. Maybe not so obvious when they had stone doors on them, because the stone doors would have blended in perfectly with the other stonework that was done. And without that black hole there of the doorway, it'd be very difficult to see, especially when you're traveling through this landscape of just endless sandstone walls and buttes. It'd take a very trained eye to be able to clue into that. So it's an ingenious design. And when you see these granaries with doors still on them, it's amazing how well they blend in. And a lot of the people over the centuries have come and pulled that stone door off and laid it down, and it was not replaced because they want to look inside, see what's there. And sometimes you'll find them laying on the ground nearby, and they just haven't been placed back there. Some are missing, maybe rolled down, or somebody took it as a souvenir or something like that. But in case you're not familiar with the Ancestral Pueblo granaries, they were used for storing mainly corn, maize. And what they would do is they would grow corn, and then they would dry the corn until it was rock hard. And then they would fill these granaries full of it. And if they had a good year, the supplies in these granaries could literally last them for years. And they had to do it this way, it's my understanding, so that when you had drought years and you didn't have a good crop, or somebody stole your corn, you'd have ample supplies, and they would build up these vast quantities. And when you go visit these today, you still find corn in them. And you'll see it in some other videos. You'll find quite a bit of corn still in there. And, because of the arid environment of the Four Corners region, and it's so dry that they are preserved. And you can hold them in their hand. They look really small. There's a smaller variety of corn of what we think you buy in the United States, or modern corn, a smaller variety. And also it's been dried, so there's no moisture in it. It's going to appear smaller. But it's really neat to see that. And, especially later in the Pueblo period, around 1000 to 1200 AD, when there was a significant drought, the locations of these granaries became higher up. They became more secretive. More camouflage was put to them, because people were in desperate need of food. And so people were stealing other people's food. And so they got really creative. And it's neat to be able to see that the construction on these granaries has lasted for 800 to 1,000 years. And it's also nice to see that there's some decorative elements to them. And or maybe they had a religious or spiritual meaning to them. I don't want to discount that. I could be wrong. We just don't know. But in this one we just looked at, it had corn was pressed into the mud when it was made, and so you see that impression. And also you see fingerprints in the mud where people were patting in the mud between the rocks, and it really adds a human element to what was done here so long ago. And the fact that it's preserved is incredible, and that we're able to see this. And speaking to that, is when you visit these ruins, they are very delicate. Please don't go inside of them. Don't crawl through the door. And don't take any artifacts that you find. And please don't do anything that could damage these. They've lasted for almost 1,000 years, maybe more. And we need to preserve them for future generations and future curious souls that come and visit these, and they're able to have the same experience that we've had. And I appreciate that. Okay, well, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed visiting those three different granaries and the discussion about them. It was really neat to see these places and how well preserved they are. It's a real treat, and I love just hiking through the desert and finding hidden things like this. One of my favorite things to do at the end of a day out here is to make a campfire, sit next to it, listen to the sounds of the desert. That's very peaceful, and watch the sun go down. So you're welcome to end the video here, or if you just need to relax and sit next to a campfire for a while with me, please join me. And if you like the content on this channel, please subscribe. I have countless places that I've visited before that I'm going to revisit and take videos just like this. I'd love to have you join me on them. All right, thanks. Till next time. How's the campfire? Looking pretty good.